So we're going to talk about containment first. So I'm going to throw you some drills that I've seen, variety of clinics I've been to, coaches I've been involved with, and we'll talk about the half court aspect of containment first, and then we'll build it into the full court a bit later. Now, this is just a nice drill, one, because it's fun to see athletes in a little bit of pain because they put us in so much pain. All right, so what you're going to do, you're going to go back to back. You're going to get in a stance, so low defensive stance, feet apart, take a few steps back, and the ball's just got to rest there. So get closer and sit lower, back straight. So pretty much we can just do that just to put athletes again in some agony and some pain. First one to lose their balance or drop the ball loses. You have a partner?
Yeah, he's over there.
Come on, man, let's go. Let's go, boys, pass the ball. See if you can do it yourself. There you go. Wasn't too hard. All right, you're going to stay like that until I talk for another hour, okay? Now, within our stance defensively, we want to make sure our feet are wide, so we talk about wide and low stance. Okay, now a lot of athletes, Peter Lonigan, who is pretty much the boss of all coaches in Australia, he says the hardest thing to do in basketball is change stance. So when you're in a defensive stance to stand up, to move to another stance, to get ready for a shot, whatever it might be, he thinks the hardest thing to do is change stance. So how do we help that? Well, we teach athletes and coach athletes to be able to stay in a stance longer. So right now we're just teaching them to, I guess, feel what it feels like to constantly be in a stance, back straight, right, bum down. Anyone hurting yet? Yes. Okay, stand up and relax a little bit. So that's just a little warm-up one we do just so they get an idea of how to stay in a stance. Now, the next one I want to move to is some quick agility drills, but then also their ability to know the distance in which they're supposed to stand from the offensive player. So you don't need your basketballs, you're just going to have one of these balls between the pair. Spread out, put the basketballs off to the side, please. Everyone got one? All right, now you're going to stand one arm's length away. One arm's length away. So now we're going to talk about our appropriate distance. So I guess as coaches, and I'm definitely guilty of it, we always say, get up, get up, get up defensively. And as soon as our athletes get up, what ends up happening? Well, they get blown by. So they need to know the actual distance and how far apart they're supposed to stand. So we talk about one arm's length is appropriate ball pressure. Now, if you're quicker, then you might be able to get up a little bit closer. If it's a switch or a mismatch and they're a bit big, a bit slower, then they might take a little step off. But roughly you're one arm's length away. So defensively, so the person without the ball right now, I want you to get in a stance, a low. If you have a ball, you're just going to get in a stance as well, but all you're going to do is just going to drop it to the right or to the left. Now what the defender has to do, you're going to quickly shift. I'm not teaching you to, you're not leaning and picking up. You've got to move your feet to the ball, pick it up, throw it back, and then get back to your original stance, one arm's length away. Okay, so here's a little demonstration here. So we talk about always having a hand above the ball, level off, so feet face his feet, good. A hand above the ball, so if they go into a shot, we can contest the shot. We don't have a hand below the ball because then they can rise up into their shot. So a lot of coaches, and it's the great thing about basketball, there's no right or wrong, but a lot of coaches will have a deflection hand, spear hand and a deflection hand. So there's a hand here, hand here. Now, in my experiences, there's not a lot of deflections with this hand. Right, so we try to teach both athletes to have their hands up like they're a boxer. They've got both hands up ready to jab at the ball, right? Maybe get a deflection or get a steal as they're ripping from side to side. So you've got both hands up. Okay, you're just going to drop it one side. You've got to move your feet quickly, catch it and pick it back up and then get back to your stance. Start back to your stance. All right, you boys are going to work on that. Go. Nice and quick drops, throw it back. So it's just getting them to react quickly to where you throw the ball or where they throw the ball. One arm's length away, one arm's length away. Sit in the stance, lower, lower. Boys, lower, defensively, lower. So you can see some of their, we want to say when they're in a stance, their nose, knees and toes are in a straight line. They're not too far forward, they're not too far back. Okay, making sure they're used to, or they understand and know how to get in the stance. Just sit in a chair or you're sitting on a toilet seat, that's your defensive stance essentially. Drop your hips. All right, change over. Go. Throw it and move. Throw it and move. Come on, quick, quick, quick. Hand above the ball. Hand above the ball. Right, freeze. If you have the ball right now, hands up, do you feel like you're put under some pressure right now? You've been put under some pressure. Do you feel like you've been pressured? No. So what do you now need to do? Yeah, okay. Something, again, because we want to make sure the athletes are always get the correct answer, we generally give them the answer too much. So when they come off, oh, you should have done this better. Or when we stop a drill, you need to do this better. You need to make this type of lead. Instead of actually asking the athletes what they need to do better. Okay, have them self-evaluate why they may have come off or what in that particular drill or exercise, what went wrong. So the problem about asking athletes is they end up giving you a 2-minute response or an answer, okay, and you kind of just go, oh, stop, just, this is the reason why. Okay, but be comfortable and just accept that it's going to be a long-winded answer. But the best way for them to learn is to answer questions and to explore and figure it out themselves. So try that next time, please. It's tough to start with, but it's better for them than better for their learning. Ready? Stance, ball pressure, go. Good. All right, hold there. Not too bad.